So welcome, everyone. We are here today to talk about the upcoming Kansas Transition Coordinating Council's 2024 Capacity Building Institute. And this is to provide information for you and your teams that will be joining us in July. So I'm Michael Storr, and I work for the National Technical Assistance Center on Transition, the Collaborative, or NTAC-C, and there's a team of us that have been working with the state of Kansas and the Transition Coordinating Council for the last couple of years. And we are working directly with the Special Education Department and the VR folks. Brenda Simmons and Bridget Griffin are also involved from NTAC-C in helping support your state in moving forward with your transition activities. So Evan, if you want to go on from there. Just introduce yourself.
Oh, hello, I'm Stacey Martin. I'm from the Special Education and Title Services team with the Kansas State Department of Education.
Thanks. Tracy?
I'm Tracy Flowers. I'm with Rehabilitation Services. I'm located here in Wichita, Kansas, and I am the statewide program administrator for PREETs.
And Evan, last but not least.
Hi, everybody. I'm Evan Dean. I'm with the KU Center on Developmental Disabilities, and I think I know everybody. We try to support all the councils and teams. So excited you all are here.
Great. All righty. Well, welcome everyone again. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Stacey.
Thank you, and thanks you all for joining us this afternoon. We have an agenda set up and some information that we would like to share with you. So today we'd like to share with you just kind of a general overview of the Kansas Transition Coordinating Council Capacity Building Institute. So from now on, I'll just refer to it as the CBI. The agenda and what to expect on how to prepare for the Capacity Building Institute, and takeaways and resources. So the overall ongoing Capacity Building Institute is not a conference. It's a chance and opportunity for members of your transition council to really have time together to support your team's ongoing work, and also opportunities to provide and meet people from across the state that are also members of their transition councils. We're providing some content to gain knowledge and skills in the area of secondary transition, and also hopefully the Capacity Building Institute will kind of define your team members' roles and responsibilities in connecting not only your local resources, state, and resources in your local community. So the purpose of the team delegates, we talked about 8 members of your transition councils. We always want to hopefully increase our knowledge and about really what's effective transition focused practices and resources. And of course, we talk about data-driven decision making on how do you make decisions and move forward, update and develop your interagency goals, and really important, network with other teams and entities to really find out what other folks are doing in the state that you might want to adopt in your own region, and also just building capacity of your own transition team.
Great, thank you. And I think we're over to Tracy.
Okay, CBI components. So there's going to be content sessions, and this is going to be facilitated interagency team strategic planning process. There's going to be networking at the Capacity Building Institute. All right, so the agenda for July 31st, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to start off with the open session, and that's going to be important for The importance of it is strategies and collaboration. And then it'll be followed by from 10:40 to 11:15, we're going to have a share out activity. And that's going to be effective for EDMVR practices by participants. And then from 11:15 to 12, there's going to be a content session. Relationship building is the goal. We'll have a working lunch from 12 to 12:45. And then, of course, at 12:45, we'll come back to 1 o'clock. There's going to be a team planning introduction. And then from 1 to 2:15, we will have actual team planning, followed by a break, those necessary needed breaks. And then 2:30 to 3:30, we'll have content session again. And then 3:30 to 4, the closing of day 1. Okay. Day 2, August 1st, 2024, from 7 to 2, we're going to have from 7 to 8 breakfast. Yummy. 8 to 8:15, we're going to be opening up the session. And 8:15 to 9:30, we'll have some speed information session. 9:30 to 10:30, team planning again. And then, of course, followed by a break from 10:30 to 10:45. 10:45 to 12, we're going to have more content session. 12 to 1, lunch, along with team planning. And then 1 to 2, we're going to have a youth panel, takeaways and next steps.
Hang on 1 second. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Tracy.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So we would like some input from y'all that are on today's meeting. And I'm going to go ahead and put into chat a link to Padlet. And what we would like you to do, and let me put the Padlet up. All righty. So we would like you to go into the Padlet and put in what content session topics you would like to see addressed at this year's Capacity Building Institute. So, we've tossed around things, assessment, or on looking at supportive decision-making, or looking at, I think another area that came up was issues around guardianship. But what do you and your team, or those you're working with in your area, what would be topics that you would want to see addressed? Because we do have the 2 content sessions. As Tracy was going through that, you notice that the one we're doing is on relationships and collaboration, but there's 2 other ones that we're still trying to pin down on what would be the best. So we really want to reach out to you. The other thing that we were wondering about was, what agencies or organizations would you like more information about? Because we are going to have, we're calling it a speed information section, as Stacy was going over on that second day. And basically what that's designed for is really quick, short discussions with different agencies or organizations in Kansas that you would like more information about. And what resources and how to provide that information. So if you could let us know about that. And then if you have any other considerations that you would like the planning team, and all the folks that are on here right now are part of the planning team. We're going to continue to work on this and refine it, really to try to make this as impactful for you and your teams as possible, really in providing better support services and resources for those students with disabilities that you work with. We'll just give you a couple minutes to do that. Thank you for padletting. I don't know if that's a word. Maybe I just created a word.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it used as a verb, but I like it.
I know. Well, and it kind of reminds me of like Paddington Bear. So like you get a little bear paddletting. I like it. And we'll give folks, I see the little bubbles moving on the top. So let's give folks a few more minutes. Thank you again for populating this. And just, again, as a reminder, we mentioned it, it's the top of the session. We are recording this. So this Padlet will stay open. So as you go back with your teams, your local teams, your community teams, or your coordinating councils, by all means, share this with them, add information. We'll keep looking back on this. We'll share out the recording from today along with this link for folks. Alrighty, and you can keep working on this. We're going to go ahead and I'll move on in the PowerPoint. So let's do that. And Kevin, I believe you are up.
Yeah, so I'll just say I think one of the really cool things about the Institute is this facilitated team building process. Because I know I've heard from a lot of teams that wanted time to, really kind of think about what they want their council or team to be going forward. People have made a lot of great progress and heard from a lot of families and youth. And then I think this can be a great time to really think about how we move forward, what we want our teams to look at. So that's what my slides are going to talk about here. So thanks. So one of the things that we want to do to make this planning time really useful is for all the teams to really, so for the people that are going as representatives of the team to work with your council and your team before you come, to really get an idea of, the goals that the people have, review the data that you've all collected, and the things that you've done over the last year or two. So all that's information you can use to really think about where you want your council or team to go over the next year. So we really encourage you to think about that. Maybe use your May meeting to really think about some of those things to prepare for this meeting in July or June. I guess there's another month in there too where you could plan if you're meeting over the summer. And to support this, Michael had created a really cool kind of goal planning document that we can, do you have that up?
Yeah, hang on one second. Let me slide it over. Just give me 1 second. Come on, let me slide. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'll just keep
going. Yeah, best laid plans, right?
And we can send this document out to everybody too, but I think it does a really nice job of kind of walking teams through things that you want to think about, and these are, there it is. So the cross-agency team planning discussion guide. So it sounds very official. But a lot of the critical considerations there. So there's some really great questions that your facilitators at the CBI will kind of use this to guide discussions with everybody. So I think the more information you can gather from your overall council and team, I think just the more information you'll have for these discussions, which I think will be really helpful. So we'll send this document out to everybody, and thanks, Michael, for putting that together. Next, just to, we really want this to be a time of joint collaboration, and I just wanted to put in these reminders for ways to be sure that the whole team is engaged. Having attended meetings from everybody's councils and teams, I don't think this is going to be a problem at all, because I think you all do a great job of being sure that everyone is empowered and respected. But just want to add this in there that we really want to be sure that that we have a culture at this event of being sure that everyone is listened to and engaged and respected. So I'd say that's particularly true too. Sorry, I just had this thought on that last slide.
Oh no, you're all good.
that we really want to engage family members and youth as much as possible too. So So just being sure that that we're finding ways to engage them, hopefully at the event, but if not, definitely before the event also. So this goes back to that document that Michael was showing before, the pre-planning document that really was designed to be used before the event to inform the work that's done at the CBI. So I think it'll be really useful exercise for everybody to as a preparation activity to work with your councils and teams on that. And finally, then, just so you all know, as I said, these team goal discussions will be facilitated by people from both Intact C and also like Stacy, Tracy, and I, and other people from the statewide transition coordinating council. Took me a second to get that out there, but we all really have been, I think, excited about the work that the teams and councils are doing, and really want to support as much as possible the future direction of those. So this is one of the ways that that we can do that. So again, just the role of that person will be to be just a neutral guide and facilitating the conversation about goals and future directions for the team.
Thanks, Evan. And we just wanted to highlight too that one of the other really important parts of this Capacity Building Institute is for you to interact with other teams from across the state. And also like during other times, so during the lunch break and in the evening. So while there will not be dinner provided, there's some really good restaurants in Wichita that I found the last time I was there. So, and Tracy and I could share those tips with you. But the idea really is to network and to engage and to find out what other folks are doing. Share your good stuff, maybe share some of the difficulties you're having, and make connections. Because truly, I've been doing this a while. I'm not even going to say how long, but I think one of the things that I have found is it's those networking connections, right? It's those contacts that you make that really help make the work that we do so much better. And especially for secondary transition, because it takes all of the different connections to support that young person as they transition. So the next thing I wanted to just provide information to you about, there is a registration link, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I'll put it in chat. And this will take you to the TASN site, and it is a site to register. We do encourage you to do that. You can do it now. You can share this with your state team or your community team that you're working with. And then we also have the link for the hotel. So let me go ahead, and it's a really long link, but in the PowerPoint, we'll share the PowerPoint with y'all. You just click on that book your room. Now, the thing with the book your room, and this is a little different than sometimes when you get hotel room block links, this will take you to the Holiday Inn. And then when you get to the Holiday Inn's site, when you put in the dates, so like arriving on July 30th, checking out, say, on August 1st, it will give you this rate. It's magic. I went in and it actually does work. And it'll come up and it actually, you'll see a note for it that it is for the Capacity Building Institute. So two things there. One, register for the CBI. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is to book your room. And as Tracy was talking about, when we talked about the teams that are coming, we'd like the team to be at least 2 individuals representing VR and special education, if that makes sense within your community team or your council, up to 8 We really want to keep a max of 8. Part of that is just some of the things we've learned over the years. You start getting more than 8 folks around the table, it's really hard to plan. But the reason for that planning document that Evan shared, it's for you to meet, and you have a meeting in May and in June with your community team or local transition coordinating council to talk through those questions and get everybody's input, so that when you come and start to plan, that'll help you. And ultimately, the outcome of the Capacity Building Institute is for you to look at goals for 2024-25 that your group can help to implement. So let me go to the next slide. So just some takeaways. You know, has your team reviewed what you've been doing this past year? If you have goals or you have activities you've been doing, take a step back and see, hey, what have we been doing this past year? What worked? What do we need to improve on? And then look at that planning document, right? Look at the slides that Tracy went over. You know, what does the agenda look like? How can we best prepare? Book your hotel rooms, register for the CBI. So that everybody really comes prepared and ready to hit the ground running on July 31st at the CBI. So with that, we are going to wrap up. I thank you, but if you have questions, either put in chat or unmute if you have any questions. And I know this is the first time Kansas is doing a Capacity Building Institute. So if you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, you know, contact the folks here if you do have questions in the future. But please go ahead and unmute. We'll just leave a minute or two if you have questions.
Michael, will these slides and the recording be available for after the meeting? And the reason why I ask is that we have a community team that's going to be forming in Topeka. Their first meeting isn't until the April 30th.
Yeah.
But we'd like them to have some information and participate in the Capacity Building Institute. And I just want to make sure that these materials could be shared with them.
Yes, definitely. So I'm going to, once we are done, and I'll take the recording, we'll get it put into a YouTube link along with the PowerPoint. And Evan, I'm going to pass this because you kind of have a point person for the community teams and transition councils. We'll get this out to you. We're sharing it too with the members of the Kansas Transition Coordinating Council. So we'll share that link in this PowerPoint with them too. So yes, you'll have this to use. You all will, and share it out. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.